The sports system for the 2018 and newer GT is going to appeal to fans of the Ford Performance brand, along with that Borla quality. I would like to go with one of the more aggressive systems overall in regards to both volume and tone. Now, along with that louder bark, this system is also going to deliver premium materials such as 304 grade stainless steel throughout, along with your very unique carbon fiber tips for right around $1,800. Now, the install will be a no-nonsense bolt-on affair, but since all of your work is done underneath the car, site's going to knock this one automatically up to a soft 2 out of 3 wrenches on the old difficulty meter and about an hour or so to complete from start to finish. But as always, guys, hang till the end of the video and we'll show you how it's done. But since this is an exhaust overview, after all, what do you say we talk about the sound you can expect with the sports system in place? And as I just mentioned, this thing is pretty healthy overall. In fact, going to my tried and true Wake the Neighbor scale, I have the Ford Performance by Borla Sport coming in at a strong 4 out of 5 overall. Again, 1 to 5, 1 to Wake the Neighbor scale. Now, it's not going to be quite as loud as the famous Borla Attack, for instance, or maybe the Flowmaster Outlaw, but it is going to be pretty darn close. Now, in true Ford Performance or Borla fashion, I should say, interior noise with this system, despite the aggressive tone on the outside, is going to be darn near whisper quiet. And that is just a testament to the Borla quality, not only with the build, but also your sound quality. But with the sound profile covered here with the sports system, let's briefly talk about the materials and construction. And guys, I apologize, probably going to sound like a broken record here, but again, expect nothing but the best from Borla and Ford Performance in regards to your material. Again, premium 304 grade stainless steel throughout, which is your benchmark currently in the category as far as nice materials are concerned, best at reducing corrosion in the long term, and as a result, typically will carry a lifetime warranty because of that, and that certainly is the case here with the sports system. Materials aside, the system will also include or incorporate an X-pipe design, which will lend itself to a little bit more volume in addition to a little bit more rasp. But as you heard with our sound clips at the top of this video, the rasp is certainly not out of control here as it might be with other premium systems, and it's a tone I really enjoy. Piping is going to be a little bit smaller here compared to other options in the category at 2.5 inches with the Ford Performance by Borla stuff, but obviously still good enough to do the job, and it's all been mandrel bent, all made from that 304 grade stainless. Finally, guys, everything's going to exit through the Ford Performance by Borla Sport mufflers and out of these absolutely gorgeous carbon fiber tips. Keep in mind, guys, these puppies are not cheap and add a couple $100 alone onto the price of the system. So if you dig everything about the Ford Performance by Borla stuff, don't really need the carbon fiber tips, you can always grab this thing with the traditional polished or black tip and save yourself $200 to $300 depending on your tip option. But last but not least, what do you say we show you how to get this thing installed on your own S550 at home? And spoiler alert, guys, it is very easy stuff. But to back me up on that, here is a detailed walkthrough along with a quick tool breakdown.
Tools required for this installation: 3/8 drive with an extension, 13 and 15 millimeter socket, optional but extremely helpful, white lithium grease, exhaust hanger removal tool, and an impact. All right, to uninstall your factory exhaust, to start, we're going to work on these clamps. And this is going to be for the 2015 and newer owners. So I have a 15 millimeter socket. We're just loosen up these clamps. All right, so I'm just gonna slide one of them back now, and then we can work on the exhaust in the back. All right, so just behind your rear differential, you're gonna have 2 hangers with 13 millimeter bolts. Let's go ahead and remove those now. All right, now we're actually gonna pop these hangers out and off. I'm just gonna put them to the side just like that. And then I'm gonna grab an extra set of hands and get this exhaust out of here. All right, so if you're working with a lift, you might need a friend for this next step. He's going to be at the front section of the exhaust. He's gonna grab that last clamp, slide it back towards me, releasing it from this front section of the exhaust. Then I'm gonna grab the tips back here and simultaneously push forward, releasing it from the exhaust hangers underneath this back bumper. So go ahead, Rob, with the clamp. And it's gonna drop down just like that. And I'm going to push it out of these hangers, and it's free. All right, so with the stock exhaust laid out on the ground, we are gonna need two things from it, those stock hangers and those stock clamps. So we're just gonna pull these hangers off. You can use a little bit of penetrating lubrication or white lithium grease to get them off a little easier. And then we'll just pull our old clamps off and transfer them back onto the car. So with our stock exhaust out of our way and with our stock clamps, we can reinstall those. We're gonna do that on both sides. And then we're gonna bring up our new X pipe. We're gonna put the smaller diameter end into our stock clamps. We're gonna clamp that down, make sure it's bottomed out on that clamp and the exhaust. All right, so now we're gonna work on the midsection of our exhaust, and I do have that factory hanger in my hand. Now, you'll notice that this hanger is facing the opposite direction. That's fine. We're just gonna orientate our hanger accordingly. Now, I also put a clamp on the X pipe section of our exhaust. So let's go ahead and slide this on until it almost bottoms out. Flip this around and up, and we'll slip that hanger in place, just like that. So moving on to the driver's side, it's the same steps. We're gonna slip that clamp on first, grab our midsection, put our hanger on, and we're gonna insert the pipe into our X pipe. Just like that. We're gonna bring our hanger up and into place, just like that. Let's go ahead and get the bolts in those hangers and secure those. So let's go ahead and start our 13mm bolts in our hangers here. I'm gonna start a couple threads and then hit it with my impact. All right, so let's go ahead and get our mufflers in place. I already slid my clamp onto the tailpipe section of the muffler. And we're just gonna get our hanger in first, slip that back, slip this into our tailpipe section. I'm gonna grab a rubber mallet, just persuade it a little bit over, just like that. Slide our clamp over. I like to clock them up and out of the way. Let's get our driver's side muffler in now. Slide our clamp over. All right, so with all of our exhaust in place, the last thing to do is trying to get that final fitment. So as you can see, there is a little play left in there. That's because we didn't tighten that exhaust coming from the X pipe all the way back to our mufflers. So I'm going to put a hand on here, lifting up while tightening that last clamp. Now this should not fall, and it did not. So let's tighten our muffler clamp next. We're gonna do the same thing on the driver's side. That's gonna wrap up my install of the Ford Performance by Borla Sport CatBack exhaust with carbon fiber tips for your Mustang. For all things Mustang, keep it here at AmericanMuscle.com.